issue of our time, that of racial equality and fighting against it. And tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me on a...
Let's hear it for Kappa Alpha Psi. To Kaepernick.
Now, what are we doing now?
One of our Justice League. Let me get it right. How many of you were at the Women's March?
Street and tell all of you that you are racist and you are bigots and you should be ashamed of yourself. So shame, shame, shame. Deeply for his people and our communities. As a football fan myself and as a family member of others, troubling history of institutional time for the business of our people, of black and or not talented enough to continue to play is a false narrative, and one that continues to lead the current NFL quarterbacks who are less talented than our brother Colin. That list included starting quarterbacks from Jacksonville and the Rams, communities, particularly in Black Lives Matter, and as a mentee of Harry Belafonte, who has spoken to Colin, is as important. And here, we have to remind our brothers and sisters at home as they turn on the TV on Colin today, that we love him, that we stand with him, and we will be there to fight for him. Thank you. Boycott, 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 boycott. One more time for Carmen Perez. Shout out to the Justice League NYC. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I told you earlier, vacuum. So next, I would like to bring to the stage my friend, my brother, one of the co-organizers for
Thank you. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to be here with all of us who have assembled. If you would just look up on the 8th floor, the NFL is still meeting and watching us down here.
That's right.
And there's a saying that says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Come on now. And today we're here because we know the heart of the NFL. We know their heart does not care that 2.5 million people are incarcerated in this nation. We know their heart does not care that black bodies are brutalized in the streets. We know their heart does not care that children in this country still don't have clean water in Flint, Michigan. We know their heart does not care that children can't afford to go to college in this nation. We know their heart does not care that people in Charlottesville, Virginia have embraced and showcased their white supremacy. We know their heart does not care because they have ostracized, blackballed, and humiliated our brother, Colin Kaepernick. They thought that their statement, they thought that their effort would sort of lead others to not protest, but they didn't know our heart. And today we've come to show America and show the NFL that we mean business in our heart. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. So we've come today to tell America and to tell the NFL where our heart is, because where our heart is where our treasure is. And so we've come today to assert to the NFL that we are demanding that you enact a policy that will protect the freedom of expression of their players, to be able to speak about issues of social justice that matter to them. We are demanding that they be safeguarded from humiliation, from ostracization, and from exclusion. So much so that if they find themselves in a predicament that they can find the NFL, we want to make sure that they continue to speak up for the lives of black and brown people in this country. We want to make sure that they kneel, and when we see them kneeling, we know they kneel for Trayvon Martin. When we see them kneel, we know they kneel for Michael Brown. We know when we see them kneel, they kneel for Tamir Rice and Sandra Bland. We know when they kneel for you, and they kneel for me. So forwards ever and backwards never. You got to know where our heart is.
Amen.
Amen. No more of that now.
We came with some demands today, y'all. Somebody say demands. Demands. Somebody say we not. We not. We won't. We won't. Sit silently. Okay, and the next sister I'm about to bring to the stage is somebody I'm sure all y'all know. She is an activist, an organizer, an agitator, and another co-chair of the Women's March. Give it up for my friend and my sister, Miss Tamika Mallory.
What's up, brothers and sisters? Let me hear you, brothers and sisters. No justice, brothers and sisters. We will not be silent. I don't have time to play with the NFL. From what you see, we are not stupid, brothers and sisters. Don't let them tell you that we are out here for one man. I like Colin Kaepernick. I think he is a good dude. I've seen him, I've talked to him, I've met with him. I think Colin Kaepernick is wonderful. But I didn't come out here today for one man. Even Colin Kaepernick will tell you that he didn't just need for himself or his family, he needs for all of us. Colin Kaepernick, my age, here today. My uncle who are standing here on the side, they didn't come out here for Colin Kaepernick. They came for Reid Bryant today. People tell you that you a fool. You are very civilized people who know that we are standing for before Colin Kaepernick took a knee. So for us is about our civil liberties. There is someone that, you know, they would love for us. They want us to argue with 32 different teams. That's what they want. They want you to spend time arguing with 32 different teams. But just like in our fight with the NYPD and with other police departments across this country, we don't talk to individual officers. That can't help us. We talk to the people who are in charge of the system, and the NFL is that. They have a responsibility. It is not okay for you to carve out when you want to stand with us. You want to ignore our issues and our communities, but you want to show up for our black beauty and our black strength. You want to make billions of dollars on our backs and not stand up for our children. You can't be so concerned with touchdowns that you are not focused on the school to prison pipeline. You cannot stand up and say that you want our players to show up and be concerned with scores and whether or not teams win, and not be present when black bodies are being shot down on the streets of this country all over the place, black and brown men and women. And we're gonna hold you accountable. So you heard point number one, that there needs to be a policy, because the other thing they're gonna tell you is y'all just came out here for a rally, and the rally don't mean nothing. So the other thing that we've said, one, is we want a policy where players like Colin Kaepernick and those who are taking a knee right now are protected. Their voices are protected, because we didn't send them where they are not to stand up for our communities. Those players have a moral responsibility to speak for Trayvon Martin and Sandra Bland.
But the second point is that the NYPD, the NFL, just like the NYPD, cannot police itself. Any organization that is only being looked at from within is a failing organization. There must be a unit of people internally and externally that look at racial and cultural sensitivity issues within the NFL. And that's everything from ownership, where we hear that some of our brothers and sisters can't break in. They can't buy teams. All the way to what is happening in the communities that these players come from. These players are walking out of communities and leaving our people wrapped up in the school to prison pipeline. They are wrapped up in police brutality. They're wrapped up with homelessness. And our communities are still putting money in the pockets of those people who are sitting behind TVs and scoreboards and not doing anything for our children. So we came here today for serious business, brothers and sisters. We have to be organized and we must be disciplined. We must be disciplined enough to say, I don't care how long you've been watching football. If they don't stand for your children, turn the damn game off. If you can't stand up for yourself, how the hell you expect somebody else to stand up for you?
That's right.
Black man and black woman, brown man, brown woman, whoever you are, stand up because this is your time. Your voice is needed in this moment, and you must stand up with a straight back and tell them that we will not allow what is happening in this country to prevail. So that's all I have to say today, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't come to hoop. You might not go home saying I was the best speech, but what you will say today is that this sister is telling you we cannot continue to have our backs bent over while people stand up on top of us. Forward together, brothers and sisters. Only together can we win. We need not be afraid because our unity is our power. And if you stand with me and I stand with you, together we will win. God bless you.
Tamika Mallory. The Women's March, ladies and gentlemen. Tamika Mallory. Stand with Cap. 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 Give Tamika another round of applause. And it's important that the Women's March and the women are here. Repeat after me. The degree of a nation's revolutionary awareness may be measured by the political maturity of its women. Kwame Nkrumah said that. And so these sisters let us know that we are revolutionarily aware. Now, as we bring on our next to last speaker, Tamika talked about what we must do. First of all, let's recognize that these athletes are not slaves. They're human beings. They want us to run up and down the field like automatons, like robots, like we aren't concerned about our families and our children. But let me tell you folks who they really want to be automatons. It's all of us who watch the NFL, all of us who are consumers.
That's right, Mark. Tell it.
The Wall Street Journal, conservative white paper, so it must be true, did a study, you can Google it, and they studied an NFL game. 3 hours, only 11 minutes is live action football out of 3 hours. The rest of those hours are commercials replay shots at cheerleaders and shots at the crowd. Look it up, 11 minutes. So you think you're watching something, but you're watching more advertisers than football. That's how they make their money. So who are they really exploiting besides the players? You and me as consumers. It's the power of suggestion. We watch a game, we see something, we're not even hungry. Then an Outback Steak commercial comes on and we want something to eat. That's the psychology of it. And we have to get ourselves out of the habit of being consumer slaves as well. Now we have some very serious assignments to give out. And here to give one of the most important ones, just so we're clear. We all agree that we're following the steps of Dr. King. All you young people here, read the letter from the Birmingham jail. And the 4 steps: collection of the evidence on the injustice. Step 2, negotiation. We're going to be negotiating with them to get what we want. Step 3, organization, getting mobilized. And step 4, direct action. Now Tamika said she didn't come out here to hoot, but our next speaker did. She may not have come out here to hoot, but our next speaker came out here to hoot. He is a preaching man. One of the leaders of this group that has brought us together, one of the baddest young preachers out here on the scene. Please welcome my brother and yours, Pastor Jamal Bryant.
Power to the people! Mark talked about Dr. King's letter from a Birmingham jail, that there were a group that didn't want Dr. King to be there. And he said, I'm here because injustice is here. I want the media to see not just those who are speaking, but the countless thousands who are here standing, so that Kaepernick knows he's not by himself. Everybody who's here standing with us, make some noise now. We're not here for our health. We're here because this is a state of emergency for our community and a state of emergency for this country. How in the world can we call ourselves the land of the free, the home of the brave, and you get vilified and criminalized just for speaking your mind? The NFL has proven with their treatment of Colin Kaepernick, they do not mind if black players get a concussion. They just got a problem if they get a conscience. So if you take a knee, they will then try to step on you. And woe unto all of these sellout Negroes who want the players to be politically correct. Michael Vick, it ain't about a dog, it's about being a man. It's not about his haircut, it's about his head being on straight. And so for all of the black boys in the inner cities who think that football is their only way out, we have to stand. Rosa Parks sat down. Medgar Evers got gunned down. Muhammad Ali found himself deteriorated. But we find, in the words of Public Enemy, it's going to take a nation of millions to hold us back. The real eclipse that happened was not on Tuesday. The real eclipse is on Wednesday. Because black and brown people are unifying to put out the light at the NFL. Before we came out, the NFL pulled down the American flag. They pulled down the American flag to suggest what we are doing is not patriotic. But we are Americans. Just like Langston Hughes said, I too sing America. They ask me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I just laugh and eat well and grow strong, for tomorrow they'll see I too am America. Every proud American who knows America has not seen its best day yet, make some noise right now. We're not trying to make America great again. We're trying to make America great for the very first time.
Don't forget Ray Lewis.
For those who declare that this is not political,
I want to ask directly the owners of the NFL Team Association, if it is not political, how is it that the Owners Association gave $110 million for Donald Trump's inauguration? If it is not political, how is it that Tom Brady could wear a hat that said "Make America Great Again" and he can still have a job, but if you grow an afro, you get blackballed and you're put on the side? Something is wrong. Nothing is rotten in Denmark. It's something rotten in the NFL, and we can smell it from here, and that's why we came from all over this country. So Walter Riley said we can see further because we stand on the shoulders of giants. Tamika, you see